Hey everyone, this is Amy from Same Menu. Just thought we would do a little IDDSI diet texture audit on some grocery items. One of the ones I picked up today was Dole's crushed pineapple. Open it up and see what texture, what size pieces we're working with here. This pineapple is in the 100% pineapple juice, so no sugar added. It's not going to be in the syrup. It's going to be thinner juice. So we are going to want to go ahead and drain any of this before we do any of the IDDSI testing. Or alternatively, you could thicken the pineapple juice if that is your current recommendation. Just open it up right here. It's looking pretty good as far as the size of the pieces. For pureed, I can already kind of go with my gut and say this isn't going to be automatically a pureed texture, but this does have some potential for being a minced and moist, close to a minced and moist consistency right out of the jar. As I'm kind of digging in here with my fork, I'm starting to see some slightly bigger pieces. So final judgment on this one, when I'm looking at it right here, just alone right here, this big piece is going to be one that you're going to want to cut that up a little bit. As you can see there, that's about 1.5 fork tines instead. And as I tilt my plate here, you can also see that juice separating out. So as I said before, definitely not going to be a minced and moist due to that liquid on its own. And also the pieces are a little bit big for minced and moist. So we're probably going to want to say for a soft and bite-sized, since the cohesiveness or the way that the food pieces stick together, it's not as big of a requirement for the soft and bite-size level 6. So I'd say that right out of the can, no extra work done. You're going to be looking at a IDDSI level 6 for these. If you do need the minced and moist diet, going through and cutting through the pieces a little bit more thoroughly, just to make sure that there's not any bigger pieces. And then, as I mentioned, like thickening up your liquids. There are some commercial thickeners, like I know Simply Thick is one that is an instant liquid thickener. You could go for something like that, or you could make your own. There are things like xanthan gum that is just naturally going to thicken up, and is often one of the main ingredients in the commercial thickening products. But xanthan gum on its own will start getting you that way. Some other foods that you might find already have that kind of thickened texture on their own are the chia seeds. Chia seeds are going to, especially when you blend them first or grind them first so that they're a really nice fine powder, and you mix that in with liquids, that is definitely going to thicken up. Timing wise, it might take a little bit longer than something like those instant thickeners. Those ones come with instructions. I can speak to Simply Thick more because that's what most of the facilities use, and I myself use. You're looking at about 2 minutes to feeling very confident, and it comes with very specific guidelines on how much liquid that you need for the amount of thickener that you're going to be using. So if you're really new to this, I'd say the instant thickeners are something that you can just pick up and go use right away. If you are familiar with things like chia seeds, actually making my kiwi for the recipe that this pineapple is going with, I went ahead and I ground the kiwi with the seeds in it, and I am finding that the kiwi seeds, so you can see right there, really, really thickened up. I did mix some of the instant thickener in here, but even before I did that, the seeds themselves were already starting to thicken up this liquid pretty well. So do be on the lookout for things like that. That and time can kind of play with the thickness, but all of those can be considered if you are just needing to thicken up the liquid itself, but the pieces are a good fit for you. That could be your path forward here. But all in all, I think it's a great option. Other fruits that might be a bit closer right off the bat would be something that is softer, doesn't have as much fiber content as pineapple does. Pineapple has a lot of those small little stringy pieces, and that can be pretty challenging for some folks. And so even if the pieces end up fitting in between the fork tines, like plenty of these fit right in between the fork tines, but for somebody that does have difficulty with chewing, endurance, ability to keep chewing for a meal, or somebody that gets really focused on the feeling of fiber and even like some dental stuff going on, where if they have fiber, then it gets stuck in their teeth and it might start falling down when they're just not ready for it. So fiber is one more piece. If you go for something more like peaches, some diced peaches might be a little bit easier to pop the top and go. But all in all, I think I'm going to go ahead and work on this a little bit further before I add it into my recipe. But if you're interested in more information about how to find some easy grab and go groceries that fit dysphagia diets, follow samemenu.com. Thanks.